What's going on, YouTube? It's Shawnee Boy here. And today, I'm going to be talking about why steroid movements gets you naturally enhanced. Yes, doing all those weird angled movements, like doing tricep extensions to the face in the lat pull down stack, doing curls in the lat pull down station, doing curls in the cable row station with your chest on the back, dips with your hands inside out, doing presses behind your head. All of these different unique joint angles are going to be crucial for maximizing your hypertrophic potential. Yes, and doing some of these quote unquote death movements will get you freakishly jacked. I see so many people that are like, well, if it's not the bench press, it's not the squat, it's not the deadlift, then I can't do it because it's not the big three. Like, come on now. You have to be doing every movement, all different planes, the sagittal, the transverse, the frontal, and the back posterior planes. All these different planes you're going to have to lift in to maximize your hypertrophic potential, because you need all these different angles to lengthen and shorten your muscles in these different regions to really maximize hypertrophic stimulus, because you're just training in different planes and you're building up certain muscle groups and densities that will just add up tissue in unique ways, which will build up your physique in different angles over time and make you into a very strong and sound being. Now, you see so many people say, well, that's not optimal. You know, you're doing crucifix curls. Your elbows are not stable. It can't be a good movement. Now, sometimes we have to ignore all of those laws with Hensman's size principle and etc. With these, if you aren't having stability, you're not going to maximize hypertrophy. But you can't replicate certain angles like that. And unless you have a crucifix cable curl machine with your elbows on the side with elbow pads, you can't find that in any gym. Only maybe one gym, probably the top bodybuilding gym in the world. But other than that, you're going to have to do it on your own. Sometimes ignore the laws of optimal training in order to be jacked and maximize your genetics. So, yeah, sometimes you're going to have to break the rules if you want to be jacked. You know, sometimes you're going to have to ignore the optimal way. You're going to have to explore and create new, different stimuli to shock the muscles. You know, not shocking the muscles every workout, because then your body doesn't have enough time to adapt. You're going to have to be doing different training periodizations and phases for over 4-5 week spans, and then changing up your blocks. You know, but then you're going to say, oh, that's a strength training program. You know, you're not a powerlifter. You're changing your strength block every 4 weeks. No, hypertrophy people, you could literally do a high rep phase for 4 weeks, then go down to moderate reps for another 4 weeks. That's just periodization, mesocycles and microcycles. It's called proper programming. Get that in your brain. You can't just be going into the gym, doing the barbell curls, bro. Like, doing the little curls in the squat rack and hack squats. Like, come on now. Even the close grip Smith machine press with a V-bar, I've seen that. It's actually decent for the inner chest, but don't come in there with saying that's your first exercise, because that's when your body's most primed to adapt to new stimulus. That's when your body's like recovered and it's fresh and it looks at the first stimulus that you're going with all out intensity. That's when your body's most primed to like utilize for new growth. Do not use it for that. You use it as a cherry on top. A lot of those exercises, like the kneeling, iliac pull down, I'm still not even a big fan of that, because you have the high to low row on the hammer strength machine. It's like that 60-degree pull down with your chest on the pad and you're like doing this. That's basically an iliac pull down. And you could do it unilaterally as well. So you probably don't even need the kneeling one. I think it's so overrated. So if you're following Ben Yanes, he's a scam. Don't support that man. He hasn't even competed in bodybuilding, and he has a shitty physique and he's fat. So don't follow him. But those types of movements are the cherry on tops of your training. You're not going in there, start doing this for the inner chest because you want to have a bigger inner chest. You know, you're going to have to focus on your compounds, like your dumbbell presses, your dips, your Smith machine incline guillotines, right? So, yeah, don't look at these unique movements as your compounds, you know? Maybe if you're extremely advanced and like you've been lifting for 12 plus years and you're like, okay, I've been doing so many barbell curls that I'm gonna start doing crucifix curls as a starter bicep exercise before I go into my barbell curls to pre-fatigue my biceps and spark new growth, then that'd be smart. But if you've been only training for 1 or 2 years and you're coming in the gym, start doing crucifix curls like a dumbass, that's not gonna help you. You're gonna have to build that up over time. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely recognizing where you are in your fitness journey and what exercises to use to spark new growth is gonna be crucial. But there are no bad movements, and you're gonna have to maximize all different joint angles and all different muscle building angles to maximize your gains, because you're targeting and you're stretching your muscles out in new different ways to enhance new growth, sparks new myonuclei in the satellite cells, and gets you jacked, you know? There are no bad movements. Just some movements might help you better than other movements because you have better joint and anthropometrical builds, right? Some people have shorter tricep insertions and some people have longer ones, you know? If you have long tricep insertions, skull crushers will probably be an amazing exercise for you. I mean, they're a great exercise overall, but I see some people getting better growth out of it than other people, you know? Like, if you have those long tricep insertions, you're gonna have amazing triceps if you're a bodybuilder, because that means they're huge, right? My forearms are longer than my triceps, so I have to really go hard on my triceps, and I don't really train forearms too much. I throw in some reverse curls here and there because I like the exercise, but my forearms are naturally pretty strong, and I do fat grip work, those big fat grips, and I throw them up on a pull-up bar or a curl, and my forearms get bigger, you know, because you're gripping harder, grip strength, right? Even on dips, I force myself to do dips like this. So yeah, you should attach your forearms a little bit more. So yeah, I will also say just creating, and if there's an exercise that you just happen to create and it's efficient and you feel unique muscles and it's not on YouTube, good. I think creating exercises is fine. Not going in with the goal to create an exercise, you know. No, you have to experiment every time when you go into the gym, because there's always something new to try. There's always something new to mess around with, you know? Not just messing around at the start of your workout. You're always gonna have your plan, but you start experimenting towards the end of the workout, because that's when you could really learn more about your body and what's working and what's not, you know? But I see a lot of people going at steroid people like, man, someone's doing reverse grip face extensions, right? Leaning back. And someone's saying, and they see the big mass monster steroid dude doing that. And they accuse him, and they see a natural guy doing it. Like, why are you doing it? The steroid guy's doing it. Because he's advanced and he's shocking new muscle growth. It's a different angle. You're getting a greater stretch on your long head. It's a good movement, you know? And then someone's going to say, oh, you're stimulating more biceps growth. Enough with the meta-analyses. If you feel more of a stretch on your triceps and you feel better contraction and you're getting a pump from it, then do it. That means that your muscles are getting stimulated and you're creating new stimulus that's going to be prime for your growth. Don't just listen to these meta-analyses. Don't listen to the exercise science guru. Do what works for your body, and you're going to have to manipulate all your different training variables to maximize your growth and angles. So there is no one is the best, one's going to be all. Everything has a time and place. Everything is a layer on the cake. You just have to recognize that some pieces of the cake are bigger than other pieces, you know? Like a dip is going to be like a body weight dip, neutral or reverse Garanda style, is going to be a much bigger layer than doing cable kickbacks for overall hypertrophy. And, well, one's an isolation, one's a compound. But maybe let's say a unilateral dip machine press might be, that's a little bit more of an isolation exercise than like a kickback or something. But still, just recognizing your genetic positions, your lengths, your build. Some exercises are going to be better for other people, you know? I don't want you going in at someone saying, why are you doing this exercise? It's not optimal, you know? Like he might have longer insertions than you. You know, everyone's built differently. Certain things work for certain people. Some people are able to do certain exercises. Some people can't. But that does not mean that they won't be able to do it at another point in their life. They just might have restricted mobility, so they have to build it up over time. You know, we're all at different positions in our fitness journey. So recognizing where we are is going to be crucial for maximizing hypertrophic genetic potential. So I hope this video really inspires you to go out and start doing different movements and progressing on them with your different micro and mesocycles. You know, periodization is key. So stay blessed. There's no bad movements. Everything has a time and place in training. I hope this helps, and reach out to me if you want to be coached, because I ain't stopping. Peace out.